So I guess we just go like that.
Okay. So technically, we are live right now.
What's good?
Okay. Oh, we'll give people a second to filter in. We'll just start with some basic introductions and we'll get straight to the questions. So thank you all for being here. So yeah, we'll just like chill and
This is nice.
I know.
You know,
Oh, not me.
We can move the like.
No, this is nice.
I could
No,
call
but
time out.
right now your city is centered.
Yeah, and you can see like the background, like the trees.
Exactly. I don't want to mess with this feng shui.
This is this is a vibe.
It's
I
very
think
nice.
we've created a vibe right here.
Wonderful.
Love it.
Don't worry, you guys. None of us have this kind of money. This is a
Oh, for sure.
flex working.
Yes.
What do you mean? Where am I living room?
The second one.
That's exactly.
On the west side of
The one that's in the U.S.
This is going to be great.
It's a grad student salary, guys. Come on, unbeatable.
Seriously, if you guys just stop getting avocado toast and coffee
I
out,
know.
really.
I just say I've never had avocado toast, so I feel like I really need to like try it out because I'm like, if y'all gonna be talking junk about me eating this, maybe I need to at least have.
It's just like not even like it's just what it sounds like. I like toast or like avocado, and not like
Right?
barking, calling the walls to get it. You know?
No, see, I eat avocado with a spoon.
Oh, me too. I like to eat it
I-
for a snack. Little Trader Joe's donuts.
Oh,
I'm a
So
little bit
good.
new to the avocado wave,
Really?
but I would do like avocado and some smoked salmon for breakfast.
Listen, it's a good addition to like anything. Basically.
It is.
I love it. I love
But
it.
do you do like mashed or you do like slices of avocado?
I do like thin slices of
Slices
avocado.
really good.
see, I love a mash with everything but the bagel though.
Love and everything. But the
Like a
bagels.
fried egg, runny.
It's gotta be runny.
Trader Joe's seasoning. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm done.
I
I was thinking of a bagel sandwich that you would put like that on, and I'm like, oh, so everything but the bagel, so all the inside,
But not
but
hey.
not the bagel.
I mean, yes.
The gluten too.
It's different gluten.
Without the bread. It's gluten free. I don't care if it's free.
Whoops. Okay, got it.
So for those of you who are here, we're just giving people a little bit of time to join in.
Oh, there's actually people online.
Yeah, there's some people here.
All right.
So wave, say
I
hello.
can't see.
Yeah, it's hard to see, but I had it up on my phone just to be sure that, we're doing good. We're
Yeah.
doing good.
I mean, heck yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. This is gonna be so hard.
This is, it's going to be a process. We're just going to.
We're gonna get through it.
We are.
I'm only human, everybody.
We're going to get through it.
Or am
That takes us right into astrobiology. So
It does. Life.
I?
No,
So,
Would you guys?
Look at that segue.
that's crazy.
So many jokes I can't say anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
Oh heck.
That's almost like funnier than cursing.
No,
I'm
right?
gonna lie, I'm gonna start
Oh,
doing
you guys.
like key willikers.
Okay, gosh darn it. Oh, beep. It cracks me up every time.
I'm gonna have to start using the like, what are the white people phrases?
Which one?
Another thing come in bus or like why I oughta. That's I like that one.
You know what? They gotta clip it why I oughta.
Oh,
They
they
could
could
do
do
that.
that.
They could do that. I was like newsflash.
Newsflash, buddy. Oh
But
man.
look,
Calling someone buddy in like a threatening way, I feel like that's top tier.
Cal is up there too.
How?
Honestly.
Because do you really need
Because I know you mean that.
I'm like, oh.
Exactly.
Right.
Something hurts a little bit.
Dang, ouch.
I know.
Man, I thought we were buddies, and now I think we're not actually.
Rob, where should I looked up the double AS press office.
So it's going to be on this page here. If you go to my Instagram,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
a little link on there.
Oh man.
How many friends do we have online? Hello, friends online.
Oh no, it's not showing me as much on here. But it's fluctuating.
Wait, did you share the link on your story?
Yes.
Oh,
You're
I am not a story checker, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, same.
I am sometimes, but if you're not in like the first 5 that pop up on Instagram,
It's
it's hard.
It's first 5 and then any green.
Green,
Is a close friend story.
green is essential.
I need to know the tea.
It sounds.
A close friend story.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a little
Pictures of
green
green.
around it.
Oh, I didn't. I guess
I feel like such a nerd right now.
You're on my close friend story.
Oh yeah.
I just never post on my close friend story. So-
I was like, did you see me about to go check right now? I was like,
Yeah.
wait, is there one?
To me, it's just so much work making the close friends. I don't want to go through other people. I'm like, you're gonna get what you get, you know.
That's fair.
I'm just loud is the problem.
Yeah,
Anything I've got to say to a close group of you, I'm gonna say it to all of you.
that's true. I get that.
And otherwise, I'm a texter.
Mm.
That's
That's
the
real.
close friend story.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets real when I send the voice notes. Come on now.
Oh my gosh.
Voice notes is such a great idea.
Mm.
Because I don't like phone calls. Something about them just like, why are you calling me? But when I get a voice note,
Yes.
I'm sad.
That is true. I'll make sure I'm in like a private location. I'm just like,
Exactly.
dial in.
Exactly.
Okay. Speaking of dial in, let's not as good as a transition as are we, humans and stuff. But we're gonna dive in. We're gonna start here everyone with some questions to introduce my fellow colleagues here who have graciously joined me on this stream. We're just going to do general introduction, so name, affiliation, briefly what you study or what you would like to study, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I don't know who wants to take it on first. I don't have an imaginary microphone to make somebody oblige as I reach out to you. But
Oh, yep, there you go.
I love that.
man. Let's do it.
Whichever feels natural to you.
Okay, I'm Celeste Hagee. I'm a postbac at NASA Goddard, and I'm working with Natasha to study exoplanet atmospheres and biosignatures in relation to the Hubble World Observatory.
Thank you very much. I'm Natasha Litton.
Excuse me.
Doctor. Come on now.
Natasha Litton, as of like 3 weeks ago, so. And I also work on exoplanet atmospheres and biosignatures in context with the Habitable Worlds Observatory, and ideally will continue to do so, assuming I don't get my funding cut. So anyway,
And that's tea.
That sounds good. I love how I'm like really holding it like this is really like.
I'm about to start doing karaoke.
Hi everybody, my name is Yesenia, pronouns they them. I work at NASA Goddard and for Sura, which maybe doesn't mean as much for people, but that's where I'm at. And I do 2 things at Goddard. So I work with the outreach and comms for Habitable Worlds Observatory, but then I also do lunar volcanology research. I was gonna say on the moon, but that's what the lunar means. So
they go to the moon like once a month,
Yeah.
so
regularly.
they got a second house up
And
there.
commute is heck.
A lighthouse, if you will.
I would like that.
That'd be nice. Hey y'all, my name is Monica Vidali. I'm a 4th year PhD candidate at Stanford University, and I'm also a shut up.
Stanford, 4th year PhD, let's go.
And I'm also a contractor at NASA Goddard, working with all of these lovely people. My thesis subject is I'm a hater of onboard habitability. I just love to be a hater, and I found a way to work it into my PhD, so there you go. And so I look at a lot of different things that make a planet in terms of its habitability. So I run about a dozen different models. I'm the girl with the models, I'm a theorist, and I have a bunch of different models ranging from like exoplanet interiors to what the star is doing to their atmospheres, and I make them all talk to each other, paint a big picture of what life might be like on that planet, and that leads me to my hating. I have also done space ethics in the past. I started off as a space ethicist, kind of took a back turn when I started drifting over to the science realm, but yeah, do some of that too.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for.
So I was thinking about just today because Anna, who's a postback at Goddard, was talking about Avi's miracle, his like what is it called? Concept? Mission
Yeah,
concept?
mission concept.
Because they're looking at M-Dwarf habitability, and I was like, wait a minute, I know a hater.
What M-Dwarf habitability?
Avi and Monica need to get together in a room. I would love to see this.
I'm a fight.
That's the next paid event.
Listen,
Okay.
That's the next paid event.
They can look forward to that.
it is a paid event, y'all.
For those of you who may not know,
I know how to fight.
you learn something new every day. But yeah, so M-Dwarfs are very, very popular in the exoplanetary community because they allow us to make relatively easy observations of planets that orbit them. So they are the talk of the town at every conference we go to. So it makes sense that, M-Dwarfs have had their time. And
it's over.
And there it is. Awesome. So yeah, everybody, thank you for joining us here. We are doing the AAS live stream to celebrate Global Astronomy Month 2025. And so without further ado, I'm going to get into some of the questions that you all have submitted over the last week. And yeah, you get to hear some expert and early career opinions on our perspectives of astronomy, our research, and anything in between.
You gotta reintroduce yourself, though. Who are you? I just met you right now.
Wow. My name is Robert Washington. I'm a third-year PhD candidate at Howard University, and I also do exoplanet atmosphere research at Goddard, and I look at detecting sulfur dioxide to learn more about planetary evolution through volcanism. So, yeah. Thank you.
We're also office mates at Goddard, so if you ever come to Goddard and you hear bass-boosted reggaeton blasting, you know it's our office.
Yes, please stop by if you can get into Goddard. All right, so we're going to start with one of the more general questions that I'm sure all of us have gotten before. But the first one is, what sparked your interest in astronomy?
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to ask.
Yeah.
Like, where are the aliens? That's what I
I
thought.
was gonna be like,
It is coming. It's on the way. It's on the way.
I was ready for it.
Spite.
Yeah.
So in 5th grade, some snot-nosed little kid said, "Girls can be scientists," because I really liked Bill Nye and I wanted to be a scientist, and I just got a PhD. So
You're good.
that's it. Passion burns bright, but spite keeps burning even brighter.
That's Mars right there.
Somebody write that down. Somebody write that down.
Sure. I feel like I was a late bloomer in terms of like coming into astronomy. I took an Astro 101 class my first quarter at college, and I fell in love with it there.
Oh, but I love that. That's how
That's a beautiful story.
I love that about because I feel like that's the dream they sell you about college, that you're supposed to be able to explore topics and so I love that looked that way.
Yeah.
I was on like a physics route, and then my mom was like, "You should try astronomy, see how I like it." So thank you, Mom.
Hey.
Shout out, Mom.
Shout out, Mom.
I don't know. I feel like I just kind of, I really don't have one of those like, oh my gosh, I fell in love. I'm just kind of here, It's cool. I do like what I do. I admit it's a cool job. I'm glad I found it, and I am interested in space. Right, space is cool. We all like space. Yeah, I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun with my friends. Honestly, yeah. I love to say, but yeah.
I connect the search for life and us wanting to understand where we come from with a lot of like the stuff we don't know about ourselves, like members of the diaspora, like there's a lot of people that just don't know where they come from. And I see a lot of like overlap there. Like I would love to know a lot more about my ancestry and lineage, and I feel like learning anything, any aspect of like space research is the same. It's all of us just reaching for answers. Where did we come from? Are there people out there? And so that resonates a lot with me. It's why actually I got these carbon and oxygen tattoos on my arm because like yes. Yes, but yeah, part of that, because I always thought that was really interesting. Learning how the planets tick is like what's grander than that? Like figuring out why lava erupts is anyway. I love I went from like really esoteric to like, well, lava erupting is cool. Like, what else can I say? Like, it is a volcano.
Space is doing it is very, very human, in a lot of different ways. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I actually really like where you
Take the mic.
That's why we all should have fans.
noted for next time.
Next time.
Yeah, we'll have fans. I mean, we have fans, but was that lame? Awesome. Okay. But no, you brought up we look into space and observe space. Why does it seem like we're looking in the past? And so I think what they're trying to touch on is kind of like the idea of like light speed and how does that make an impact in terms of what we observe in space. So maybe you might want to. I kind of answered it, but
Well, spoilers.
but okay, I'll keep going anyway. But no, to answer the question, so light speed travels extremely fast, as we know, and because of that, when we're looking at an object that's so far away, by the time the light that develops the image that we're seeing of an object gets to us, pass by. So we're not looking at the object as where it is currently, but we're looking at it X amount of time in the past, depending on how many light years away the object is. So pretty cool, but at the same time, that actually starts to lead into a lot of constraints that we have when we come to observing, planets or stars or any celestial objects, because this is what it looks like such a long time ago, whereas what does it look like now? And we don't have enough time to just put a giant telescope on one planet or one star and just watch it over the next thousands, 100,000s of years to see, what is going on this planet. So that's what makes modeling and theory and a lot of the work that we do so important. So
Can I?
Yeah.
Do y'all think about that? Because I don't get that, right? Because I'm studying the moon. It's there. The light is there. But do y'all ever think about that? Like when you're
I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time. And I think about it a lot in terms of like, what does that mean like for our story, right? Because there could be other aliens out there. Maybe there are, that's classified.
Like the other way around.
But exactly. They're gonna see us, they're gonna see humanity and all its ugliness and all its goriness. They're gonna see us, messing out. They're gonna see us having fun down here, doing our best. And that's something that I think is really, really cool. And it really, really helps me kind of like put on my friendships and family in perspective too. Because I'm like, man, in a way, a lot of people are like, oh, space makes me feel very, very small, like the grandeur of it all. But honestly, it doesn't. I feel kind of big in the context of like, hey, we're just kind of out there for everyone to see, and that's cool. And I hope someone's seeing it,
I mean, there's also, to put it in context, the dinosaurs roamed the earth 66 million years ago, which to us seems very long because our lifespans are so much shorter. But in terms of distance, when we're talking about light years away, that's actually very close by. So a planet would have to be very, very close to us to even be able to see the dinosaurs. So most likely they're seeing much further back than that. So whenever we're thinking about it, and whenever people are saying, oh, why haven't we found life yet? Or is it possible for us to even find it? It's like, maybe the answer is no. Maybe we're just looking too far away, but that doesn't mean that it's not there.
I love that. Yeah. Wait, and then somebody might be looking at us and still seeing like the magma world.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. They might even see vegetation start to take form one day. The different ice ages that we had. And yeah, they might see me falling over a table at my 21st birthday party, but you know what? They're gonna get a whole show out of it. They're gonna get a whole show out of it, and I'm gonna put on a show for the aliens. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a good life for them.
I personally would say would spend billions of dollars to see you.
There's some alien government out there. They lobbied their Congress and they spent billions of dollars to see us. just to see us yapping.
I think it's much worth it.
For sure.
Awesome. Yeah, so let's stay on. We're talking about something really cool. It's like, there is an alien species observing Earth, millions of years ago, thousands of years ago, or even now, but in the future. That's just like a weird concept to generally grasp, and a lot of that has been tried to be portrayed in things such as like movies or TV shows or video games. And so our next question actually asks, what's something that you've seen or something that Hollywood has gotten quote unquote wrong about, portraying space, or, like a space feature, or talking about space travel, or anything like that.
It's hard because my mind's going to all the things I've seen that are right.
Right.
No, that's
It's
exactly
exactly
where my
right.
mind
So,
went.
like,
Absolutely.
It should be easier. It's right to be like,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
Because I feel like every single thing is going to have some amount of inconsistencies, right? Because it's for show. It's like, for entertainment value. But I can't
Armageddon. No.
Oh.
Terrible.
That's
great
a good one.
entertainment value.
You got to
Scientific value. Yeah, exactly. Turn your brain off. Don't ask any questions. Just enjoy it for what it is.
Yep.
Sing the Aerosmith. Okay.
Yep. Ad Astra was bad. Ad Astra was real bad. Brad Pitt in space, which is
First
why
of all,
people went to see
yeah.
it. That's why I went to see it personally.
Yeah.
It was terrible because he fell from a satellite orbiting Earth, fell off
Through the
through the.
atmosphere?
Yeah, that was the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh no.
Is him falling, and he lived.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Wow. Okay.
But
So-
he had like some
No.
burns.
Oh, he's totally fine.
No, he was fine.
Yeah, he could just do that actually.
Yeah, that's he did his own stunts.
You just gotta lock in and you can
Yeah.
survive.
He fell from low Earth orbit, and this was in the first 5 minutes of the movie, and I went, oh, no, okay, so, especially because people have been going, it's the next Interstellar, and I went, oh, so it's not the next Interstellar, but
Even Interstellar could. Okay.
I think Interstellar got basically everything right up until he crossed the event horizon, and
Yeah.
at that point, we can't scientifically say
For
that it's
sure.
wrong.
Exactly.
Watch him end up being right though.
It is Christopher Nolan we're
It is
talking
Christopher
about,
Nolan.
so if anybody's going to get it right.
Oh yeah.
Well, and I don't know if it's true, but I heard that he talked, he had physicists. and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, they have
Yeah.
a whole team of yeah, that's right.
Oh, am I supposed to?
Yeah, he's a big deal physics guy, so he consulted for the movie.
Sorry, kid. My bad.
And they did the modeling of the black hole, and that was before we had the picture of the black hole. And so they did all that modeling based on the physics, and they were able to do all the Hollywood CGI, whatever. But then when the image of the black hole came out, they were right.
Yes.
That's pretty
That
They
is
actually
Yeah.
got it right.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's so great. I didn't realize that came out. But yeah, you're right, because the movie came out before we got, what is it, M82? M83?
M83.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so they modeled it right first.
Yeah. totally.
Wow.
Which is so insane if you think about it, because in science we're so used to getting things wrong in order to kind of make little advances, and then like the moment that we get something right, it's just like, whoa, the laws of physics were real. That's crazy.
You understand?
No one messed with them. That's cool.
Well, that kind of tears me on like which question we should do next. Because both will work for a great transition. Let's start with this one. So this question asks, have you ever had a eureka moment while you were doing research or listening to a talk where you're just like, oh wow, like this maybe doesn't solve everything, but this is a great idea that I can incorporate or try to work on or helps with my research.
No.
Yeah.
See, you've got a lot of modelers here, which basically means and we sit there and we go, oh,
Oh, that's nice.
I'm gonna be honest, like in any field of science, I don't really think eureka moments super happen.
Or you have to maybe been in the field for a while. to
Yeah.
have that point. So I don't have a eureka moment, but I had a moment where things like culminated for me, and that then. So for me, inside me there are two wolves. There's a comms wolf, and there's a research wolf, and they're constantly in battle for which one's gonna come out on top.
Right.
Alpha, as the Gen Alpha. So for me, so I was doing like the research I'm doing right now is my first research project, and I'm outlining craters on the moon and using digital elevation models to figure out different characteristics that will tell me whether or not I'm looking at like what a normal impact crater looks like, or I'm looking for hopefully events that are evidence of outgassing, right? Because if there's outgassing, which is when volatiles are evaporated from lava, then that can point to volatiles still being maybe in the area. Maybe that's great for future missions, especially we're trying to figure out how to get people on the moon, and it's really hard to ship water and stuff up there. So if we can find it on the moon, that would be great. So that's what I'm doing. And I, for months, was like learning the software and reading literature and doing all this stuff. And the first time I got a result, like from all that stuff, like I got a decimal, y'all, it was like 0.34. And I was crying. Because I was like, oh, I feel the power. But it finally, I was like, oh, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm just thinking about all the steps that I had to take to get to that decimal point that'll finally give me like I'm like, oh, now I can like do interpretations from it. But it was a big moment for me that I felt like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Like I can, it's done because it's a decimal point. I sent this to my family, and my family was like, yeah. So to them, like they were like, okay, it's a decimal point. I was like, it is, but you don't understand. It's like 4 months.
It's the decimal point.
Yeah. So not a eureka moment, but that was a big like, oh, I can do this.
You know the meme of the guy on the last place podium that he's like popping bottles. He's in last place. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, honestly, I think observationalists have eureka moments more frequently, and I don't even think that's necessarily in exoplanets, right? I think it's in, because like my husband does active nuclei, AGN, so they're black holes, and so whenever he gets data, there will literally be days where we're at home and he goes, oh my God, I found an emergent. Like I see it, I found it. Like I'm looking at the data, there it is. And I'm like, okay, what is that? Like, what is it mean when you're looking through pictures and you go, oop, just found a picture that's gonna get me a paper. Like I can't,
no, that is.
I have 8 different code notebooks open, none of them are working. And somehow I have to cobble together a paper out of it that says, if this exact set of circumstances were to exist and we were able to see it with a multi-billion-dollar telescope that we haven't built yet, this is what you maybe might find.
Yeah. 2 people are going to read it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get excited, and all of it's going to be wrong in like 30 seconds. So, I think maybe if we were in not this, there would be more eureka moments.
Mm-hmm.
Look at my spectacular data. Like what data?
It's rough. Like I'm like, oh, I love field work. I can go out and touch grass every day.
You touch grass.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I'm sitting like a shrunk. But it is one of those things where it's like, every day nothing changes, but then you look back and everything is different. And I feel like that's the good reward for modeling, is you do all this work and you culminate, years and years of different things, and then you look back and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I've actually, advanced even just a little bit, even for those 2 people, in understanding of the universe around us. So I'd say that's pretty cool.
Cool. So we have another question. We were talking about kind of like if you're in modeling, how you have all these different codes that choose when they want to work, and then they rarely choose when they do want to work or how long. And then you get the code to run, and then you have a whole nother set of like boundaries and walls that you have to get through in order to actually have it apply to something, especially when you're talking about like future missions and stuff like that. And so this next question kind of dives into that by asking, like, how do you keep yourself like moving forward even though you have so much work ahead of you? So like sometimes you might look at a task and it's like, this is just step like 1.2 section B, and it's a 10-part project. So kind of how do you look?
I just don't want to get fired. I gotta provide for my cat.
You know,
There you
And
go.
so when times get hard, I'm like, I gotta think about Goku. I gotta give him the life he deserves. And then I gotta give myself the life I deserve. Cause I just got me a Michael Kors bag.
Ooh.
So, you know, I gotta keep it going.
So it's like research is
It's
more
working.
of the spirit bomb.
Exactly.
The more research you do, the more energy.
Exactly.
Okay.
I gotta power him up, you know?
Mhm.
It really is though that like you have to keep in mind that you're doing this and it's a job. Like for so many, astronomy is a passion, and I love that. Like that's a good thing. But if you mix your passion with what you're doing for your job is never going to be 100% perfect all the time. You have to remind yourself you're doing this to provide for yourself, and if it brings you joy most days, that's fantastic. That's better than most people get. It really is. So do things that make it more fun, that make it more uplifting. Like I named my dissertation Barbie because I could, and so I did, and I made it pink, and it like even though the results are sometimes not real, the plot is pink, and I'm like, cute. Even though I send it off, and then everyone goes, yeah, no, this is garbage. Why am I looking at this? So reminding yourself, right? Like when it's really easy to be burnt out by something if you're trying to keep the passion alive all the time. It's okay to take a step back, and it's okay for you to have other hobbies and those be your passions while your job is the thing that you do from 9 to 5, or from 9 to 2, or from 10 to 2, with a lunch break.
So realistically, like 32 minutes and then.
Y'all get the idea.
I do really super want to emphasize that though, because I feel like a lot of the burnout that you see is because like science is all that people are. And I get it, because when you get into this world, it's a lot of like demand, especially in grad school. You get a lot of cases of people like, oh, I have to work nights and weekends and blah, blah, blah. And it's nice if you're passionate about that. Don't make it everything that you are, right? You gotta zoom out, touch grass, you know, go outside. It's spring now. Go have some fun. But yeah, I just wanted to like really, really don't make it everything you are. 5 p.m. hits, I'm closing that laptop and I'm going out for drinks.
I don't play about that.
For Diet Cokes, sorry. I should.
Right.
Exactly.
Love a Pepsi. Love a Pepsi.
But yeah.
I think two big things for me is boundaries. Yes, so when I close the laptop, it's closed. Like you're not seeing it, but it's because I had really unhealthy boundaries in undergrad, which means now I understand I need to be more protective of my time. But I think another big motivator is a support system. It's really nice to have people outside of like my partner or my family, like you guys that understand, right? When I was talking about a decimal, and you guys are like, oh, definitely, I get it. So I think like it's, I don't know, being able to talk to other people about this cool job, it's great, it keeps me going. Like, I could also probably talk a lot about the astronaut program, but I'll leave it there because I think y'all don't really care about exploration.
No.
I'm kidding.
We don't care about the solar system here. I get that.
The solar system.
It's where we live.
Yeah, but so, you don't have to be like a fan of it. You know, it's like I guess I'm here, but I like out there. And I get that. I get that.
But we need here to look.
Oh, listen, I agree with you, but the amount of galaxy people that I talk to that don't. Somebody made a button today. We were making like little buttons. It's like planet hater. So you know, that's where I'm at.
Honestly,
Where can I buy one? I hate them too.
They don't work with my model. My model doesn't work with them.
Exactly.
There's a disconnect going on. I have to choose a side.
And I'm the one that deals with the planet, so I hate them too.
Exactly.
Like I'm more qualified to say that I hate them. So.
Exactly. It's like if you work in galaxies, like what do you mean you're a planet hater? If you work in planetary science,
Oh, we're all planet
planet
haters.
haters.
You know what? I like that because that's how I'm gonna start like flipping it on. Like, you don't even know anything. You don't know enough about how you dating from outside of the club.
No, exactly.
I've been saying that.
I am a moon lover though.
As
Incorrect.
Is it what?
Shut up about the moon and shut up about Mars, everybody.
Wait,
Well, not just our moon, but all moons. I love it.
Okay, you're talking about an exomoon too? Oh, okay, satellite.
Satellite.
I thought we were like exomoons. I'm like, listen, now we're gonna fight. Like,
Real. I'm also a Mars hater, so.
Yes!
I can't stand the segment. Please get that out of my face.
So one thing you'll learn is that in everybody's respective fields, there'll be topics that get brought up so often that you just get to the point where it's like, if I hear another talk or anything about this topic,
Another $1 billion to Mars.
you know?
Well, I was saying though, I feel bad for them at this point. Like I'm rooting for them. Like,
Oh, yeah.
how many years that thing has been out there getting samples, and now they're just talking about leaving the samples.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Bring the
Yeah,
samples
bring 'em home.
Bring them home. Like, and I say that as a Mars hater.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because listen, they're eating.
They
They
are.
have so much data. It
Oh,
does
they
not
are.
make sense how much data they
It
have.
is more so hater. I am very jealous.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
I love the rovers. I think they're adorable. But I'm a
Yes.
hater of Mars as a concept.
Yes.
No atmosphere.
No,
Just
broke, no
boring,
future, no money.
Cold. You know, it had water, it lost the
And
drip.
then it lost it. Like,
Yeah.
Ashy. Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about what our least favorite stellar object is, but I want to go around and get everybody's favorite celestial object. It could be a planet, asteroid.
Saturn. I know that sounds very basic, but hear me out. The storms at the pole that are shaped like a hexagon.
Oh,
Y'all see
yeah,
that? That's crazy to me.
yeah.
But so and then I grew up in Miami, so hurricanes are like, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but they're nostalgic for me. Like it feels like, oh, like look, a hurricane. Like,
Yeah.
You see, being brought in.
That's the most fun rating.
It feels like home. It really is. I just think of like parties and being home from school. That's what we do during hurricanes in Florida.
I love that.
Shout out Florida. So and it's like it's a planet that's full of storms. Like when you look at like the up close, just and then the rings I found out recently. Like I remember, like when you're young, you're thinking like they're flat, but they're not. They have like dimension.
Yeah.
There's like it. Baby, she keeps giving. So I'm like, if we look past like just because it has a ring, like no, it's
She is that girl.
what can I
That's
say?
true. That's
What can I say?
fair. That's fair. That's
Oh, rain's diamonds? Is that?
Potentially more like than Jupiter,
Yeah.
but still potential.
So, there's not going on there.
I'm gonna say a yes in my head because she's like.
Do you know? Period. What about you guys? What do
I'm
you
gonna bring it back to the moon.
Let's go!
Oh my God.
Because you can't see it and it's like just there. You know what I mean?
So let's.
I
That's
love
true.
looking
That's
at the
true.
moon.
So it's whenever you want to do volcanoes, let me know. Oh, yeah.
Don't take my student. She was too late. She's a special paper.
It's not.
Okay.
Next transition.
That could be my next one.
Y'all want to go to some fields where
2 months.
I mean,
Just a quick little.
I can show y'all around some volcanoes. Arizona, Hawaii. Like,
Yeah.
you get to go to the greatest places to study the moon, like all the
That's true.
astronauts.
That's true.
I had like a class and we got to like count craters and like, basically like age the area. I was like, this is so cool. We can't do that.
What can I say?
You cannot.
And the moon looks good in every color.
Oh,
She
she
is
is that girl.
White,
Really?
eggshell.
Right when
She's
she's getting
like-
dark.
Oh,
The eggshell.
Yes.
When the moon puts that eggshell on, that harvest moon.
The moon has the Anastasia Beverly Hills
Oh,
highlights.
yes.
With the Until Dawn setting spray. She is that
She
girl.
really is that girl.
And she tells us a lot about Earth too, like, because there's no really like pesky erosion processes happening up there. So the impact history that happened on the moon, all the craters that we see happen to us too. So we get to know a lot about our own history, how old the Earth is, how many impact events we had, how big they were, all that good stuff.
I mean, we think she is a part of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
She's our cooler younger sister.
Oh,
Love her.
love her. It's true.
Nice. My favorite would be there's a exoplanet that is also often talked about, so it's starting to become like less liked by me because it's being so popular. Fortunately, it's not tracked as 180. It used to be, but it's now HD 189, where it theoretically rains glass horizontally.
Nice.
Horizontally.
Yes, because the wind is so strong on the planet. Yeah.
What is it?
HD 189.
HD.
It's one of the exoplanet, the NASA Exoplanet Travel Bureau.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yes,
Because I feel like
it
I've
is.
seen that. I love that it's It's not legislation.
Such is the problem when we search science terms and it takes us to something
Reigns
else.
of Terror.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's the one.
I do constantly forget that NASA ADS, if you just look up ADS, that spells ads. So I've looked up ads multiple times and I'm like, nope, I'm not looking for a marketing campaign. I was looking for something much nerdier. I have to backtrack.
Cool.
So yeah, it seems this is pretty cool. It seems like a nice planet to be on. Just fly out. So,
Relaxing glass.
Yeah. Just chilling.
But you're talking about searching like ADS on Google, and that's funny because ADS to me is like aim down sites. So like when I'm playing video games, like yeah. So
Shut up. Whole time I'm playing with him.
yeah. But that brings up another good question. Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you. Have you seen this poster?
I haven't.
So NASA has this
Wait,
whole
what's this? I haven't seen
series called The Galaxy of Horrors.
Yeah.
And they're a
Oh yeah, I
they're a
did.
bunch of movie posters that are based on like old school, but it's about like different like zombie worlds.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send you that
Is
because
that a white dwarf in that one?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the coolest comms products to come out of like this gamma ray stuff.
That is really cool.
There's also one about Dracula,
Yes,
I think.
there
I don't
is.
remember which one, but there's one about Dracula.
This is the one I have on my desktop right now. It's like dark energy, but it sees like a bat in the middle.
Oh, awesome.
That is it.
That is really
So
cool.
it's really cool.
Cool. If you can, copy the link and drop it in the chat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Check it out
Galaxy
too.
of Horrors.
And I'll also post it on socials so you guys can see some spooky stuff.
Also, shout out to Rod Humble. Thank you for being here. He said
Yes.
love this in the chat. So.
Wonderful.
So glad you're enjoying it.
Yes. Awesome. Oh yeah, so we were talking about searching things up, and somebody asked, how does NASA or how do things in space get named?
Oh, I have a great story about this. I just told the story today
What?
about this.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
No idea.
Okay,
Story time is simple.
So I don't know how everything gets named, but there's definitely a commission of people that like will name. Like there's a commission of people that name planetary objects and galaxy objects. And so if you just search like planetary names, I think it takes you to the website and you can look up who's all on there. So the reason that I know this now is because the region of the moon that I'm doing research on is called Sinus Viscositatis, and we were trying to figure out exactly.
You did do that effortlessly.
I know. The furniture started floating. Sorry. Don't come at me with words.
Anyways, so I was trying to figure out the boundaries of it so that I know where to like cut off. Like looking at the craters, and so the website it shows you like an outline of where it is, and I was like, okay, but how did they decide where the boundaries were? And so it tells you like, oh, like that specific region was named by someone. And I went to look it up, and apparently he's the director of the Vatican Observatory, and he's a planetary geologist.
There's an observatory in the Vatican.
Girl,
That's
listen,
crazy.
How do I sign up?
I went down a hole that I was like, what? Yes, bro, they have summer school, so you can go and do like a residency, yes.
Wait,
Yes.
does that mean I get to take part in the conclave?
I want to be a part of the conclave so bad.
That part I can't answer, but if we have a planetary geologist there, so y'all can probably reach out and be like, what's good?
If there's any Catholic priests, cardinals watching this,
Please.
send me an invite. Send me
Let
an
us know.
invite, please.
Love to be part of the conclave.
That goes insanely hard.
That's
I
so
had
hard.
no idea.
So I looked up, I actually was sending it to my family chat, so maybe I have a
Wait, send it to us. Yeah.
Yeah, right? you imagine being so into astronomy, you're literally into astronomy on a godly level, like on an actual godly
That's
level.
right.
So the guy that names, so this is it, the picture of the
Shut up.
observatory at Vatican.
Seaside observatory.
And on the water.
You guys, this is so much nicer than any observatory we've got.
So
Way nicer.
we're all sitting in our CBs, right?
So
As a
yeah,
collective, except one, except all.
Yeah.
Unless they put me in those uniforms that the guards wear, like the Swedish ones, I don't like those. You ever seen what the guards
But they
wear?
kind of, I think you can serve it though.
We can serve, but the guards can't.
Because the guards aren't trying to serve it. They
That's
They
are.
have other parts.
They are.
I don't know what they could be, but you
I
know,
don't know.
clearly their priorities are not serving.
Yeah.
well, yeah, so I don't know if that answers the question, but in a roundabout way.
Oh, that is
I
so cool.
just found this out, and I was like, the Vatican, it had the same name. I'm like,
Wow.
what? So it's pretty cool. They even, if you go to the website, like they even have like, there's a JWST like lecture series coming up by the Vatican, friends. Yes. Yes.
That is so cool.
It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna go give a talk there. I decided just now.
Yeah, I was
That's
actually gonna
crazy.
email the guy because, so like I said, he's the director of the observatory, and I was gonna be like, are you trying to come through the Goddard? Can you bring? I mean, rest in peace, but can you bring the Pope? Like I was
No,
like,
right, can you bring
anything like that? Like,
Exactly.
So
You can show the Pope,
I was
right?
like, let me go ahead and do that foreign national escort training
For
so that
real.
Well,
For
so
real.
fun fact, learned something new about that because I did the training. I did the entire whole thing. You can't do it if you're a contractor. They'll let you take the test,
But you
but
can't.
you can't get the badge.
Wow.
Wait, do I count on co-op though? You think so?
Still didn't count.
Mm.
I have to be an
Because
NPP.
Joe has one.
He's Crest.
Yeah, so I'm a co-op. I'm Sura, but it's under Crest.
I might stand corrected. I don't know. I was on a co-op and they said, not you.
Okay, we'll
Wow.
figure it out because we're planning this. Oh, and
We're
whoever the
gonna
legal
come
is,
see you.
brother guy, that's we're ready to live, bro. Get ready.
Oh, someone.
So as we are applying to get summer internships at the Vatican, another question actually asks, how do we pursue different opportunities in astronomy?
Hey, you're putting these together like that. I like
You
that.
know?
That's good. That's good.
I had a feeling that the conversation was gonna, it was gonna sew itself together. It's just like, when you look back at the stream, you just see me like looking down at my phone. And then I'm like, okay, I see where this conversation is going, boom.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's a good one.
I mean, so I just in the fall applied to a bunch of postdocs, which are postdoctoral positions. So in the same vein that you can take a post-baccalaureate position, so after you finish your undergrad, you can take a 1 or 2 year research appointment. You have postdocs. So after you finish your doctorate, you have 2 or 3 year appointments. Can also be 1 year, but that's less common. The way you apply, and it's the same way that you apply for a lot of other things, is that you have to write up a scientific proposal based on whatever in areas of interest that they're looking for. So some places are only looking for planetary science, some places are only looking for galactic science, and then other places are looking for everything. And they all have their different formats. So you're going to have 8 different versions of the same exact science, and one of them will be 15 pages long, and the other one will be 3 pages long. And that's really fun for you to figure out how to do, but they leave that up to you. You submit them all. There are some that are national, and then there are some that pop up. You know, I have a job available, I have funding, you can apply. Submit everything, and then you just pray.
Sometimes you submit everything and you wait 6 months and only for them to tell you that you used size 11 font and not size 12 font, and therefore you were automatically disqualified.
That is correct.
And that also happens. So,
It is a real thing. Sometimes you'll apply.
not for me though, but
Not for you.
of course.
That happened to a friend.
No, a friend called Monica. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel bad for her. But,
It really sucked for her.
yeah, not me though.
It was really
Y'all be easy.
Sometimes you submit and they just don't get back to you. They're just like, you're good, I'm sure, figure it out. I have received rejection letters after I've already started a new position. I'm like, that's cool, I'm good now. If If you're gonna ghost me, just commit to the ghosting at this point.
Mhm.
And then you hope against hope that one of the usually above 20 that you applied to gets back to you and says, yeah, we'll deal with you for 2 years, but then you have to figure yourself out after that. So that's how it works. And you just keep bouncing from 2-year position to 2-year position until you find a permanent position, which don't exist anymore. So
it's like, yeah, and if y'all are watching this thinking like, oh, I'm trying to get into, these spaces or like grad school or different opportunities, just kind of know that is a little bit of a poop show, if you will, a circus. Because I'm pretty sure we all have way more rejections for things than we have ever had acceptances. It's just, even, before RIFs and mass layoffs and stuff like that, science was already very oversaturated with, jobs, and like there are way more people that apply that get the jobs. So if you're trying, just try not to let the rejections kind of get to you. There again, we have all had way more rejections than we have had acceptances, and it's just one of those. It's just one of those fields where, everybody's trying to do everything, and jobs will come up and then not be available the next year. So it's kind of a lot. I will say the job market is not the most fun thing to deal with in any of the sciences, I think, but especially in astronomy and planetary science. But that's not a personal reflection on you. Like, just getting into grad school, it's pretty much a lottery, if we're being honest. Like, these professors, they'll tell you, well, we would hire all of the applicants if we could, but there's money constraints, there's all these different kinds of constraints. And so really, a lot of these rejections that you're gonna get, and it will happen, they're not personal. It's just because this is how the job market is right now. So stay in it. Good luck, because we're in it too, so.
Every time you submit anything, you're hoping for a little bit of luck. There's only so you can write the best application in the world. It depends on who's on the other side of that application. It depends what money is on the other side of that application. You just never know all of the other factors that are going into what happens. And just know, when you look at the field, when you look at any of the big shot scientists that you see, when you look at any of the Nobel laureates, for every success that you see on their resume, they have 10 times that failures, rejections. They didn't get that job, they didn't get that proposal, they didn't get that data, they got redirected all over the place. It's not an easy thing, like Monica said, but if it's what you want, you just have to become one with rejection and know that it's happening to everybody, not just you.
Oh yeah. If I can tack onto I don't remember what I was gonna tack onto, but there was something. So we're talking about how to pursue different opportunities, right? That's what you asked. So when I got hired to do comms work, I didn't get hired to do research. So I am shameless. So I guess that's my tip. Don't have any shame. Ask and tell people, because you never the opportunities will come to you, but they won't come to you if people don't know that you're looking or that it's available. So I asked around to a bunch of people who told me that they didn't have projects before I found a project. And I tell people hey, these are the skills that I have, this is what I'm interested in, this is what I've done in the past. Because now also, because of that, I don't know if y'all know, I'm going to Iceland in June for field work.
There's a lot of fun.
Oh,
you're gonna love it.
Okay, so I'm really excited. Yeah, so also geologist bucket list, right? So, but the reason I got that was because I was talking to another planetary comms person, and I was telling her, I'm like, oh yeah, I have a drone license and I've done this field work, blah blah. And so she had a conflict with her schedule, and she was like, oh, I know someone who has funding who can take my place on this trip.
There you go.
And so sometimes it just helps to just talk, just tell people. And especially if they're looking out for you, they just got to drop your name in one place and then boom, now you're going Iceland. So
I also want to build off that, because when I was first getting into science, I felt like I had a lot of other things I just enjoyed doing. Well, I guess astronomy, I can say astronomy, that I enjoy doing. And a lot of times it's you might want to end up at a certain destination, but it's not the way you think it's going to happen.
Yes, for sure.
For instance, I was fortunate enough to get an internship at the Air and Space Museum last summer, and it was through astronomy education, which, it wasn't a core research internship or anything like that, but that has allowed me to pursue other like interests I have that are still in like the realm of astronomy. So to your point, it's like sometimes like the interest or your career path that you want to do, it will provide ways to get to where your final destination or your next destination that you like are pursuing is located. So great point. Okay, so I think we have time for maybe 2 or 3 more questions here on the list. Now see, I didn't have a great transition picked up for this one. I was engulfed in the conversation.
That's okay.
In DJing, sometimes you don't blend, you just cut. That's what you're doing right now.
That's true. So we're just gonna
Cut.
and actually, okay, no, I have a good one. So our friend Celeste here just got into grad school.
Let's go!
Yes. And so I think this is a great question I'd like to hear from you and that's and everybody, I'd like to hear your opinions, but what's something you're looking forward to in like the next stage of your career?
I would say I'm looking forward to taking on more responsibility and like collaborating with people and like expanding my network. I think there's a lot of cool things. I'm excited to learn some more and become like an expert, really. I even over this post-bac position, like I've become more of an expert in exoplanet atmospheres, but like to take some more classes and like do some more modeling, like for 5 years. I think I'm super excited to if someone asks me a random question, I'll be like, yes, I know that. Like, let me answer your like astro trivia question. But yeah, and then just becoming more involved in the field and taking some more leadership and yeah.
I have a great idea for you. I have a thesis due in about a year and a half. If you want to take leadership and write that,
Show
then
initiative.
I think that would be a great opportunity.
We'll pay you an exposure.
Yeah, in exposure. As a fellow grad student, there is more money to sponsor that. Travel is required though, so you'll have to figure that out.
I can put that down. You got it.
Wait, where are you going?
It's your side.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah. So
And you think you want to stay in exoplanet atmospheres for sure?
yeah, for sure.
She's not allowed to leave, actually, I told her.
Oh, gotcha.
That's
Okay,
gonna be
part of the
yeah.
contract. Gotcha.
That was my start in research, and then I went to like stellar models, and I was like, I want to go back because I, really love it. So,
Working with Steven or Eddie?
Eddie.
Nice.
How do you just know that?
I feel like as you get more into
the
the field,
names.
you know the names.
It's a pretty small community when it comes down to it.
I mean, that's true. It's the same in volcanology. Should we run?
Yes, sure.
Had to say it.
Cool name. Shout out Eddie.
Alright, we can just go there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's your next step now? Dr. Latouf?
Well, Dr. Latouf is going to be doing a NASA postdoctoral program fellowship. So it's called an NPP colloquially. So it's a fellowship program at NASA Goddard. It's a 2-year appointment. You can renew for a 3rd year. And I'll be continuing to work on what I'm doing now, which is trying to understand how we can detect different molecules in exoplanet atmospheres using the upcoming Habitable Worlds Observatory. What I propose to do, and unfortunately now I guess I'm going to have to do, is updating my noise models in all of my simulations so that I have accurate telescope noise, because our observations are never perfect. They're noisy, our instruments make what we call noise and they interfere with our data. So understanding how that happens beforehand will help you make the best observational decisions later. I think what I'm most looking forward to, I know you're on the beginning of your journey. I love this for you. I am so excited to make a paycheck I can live on.
Oh,
Yeah.
say that.
Oh my God, when that hits my bank account the first time, I think I might cry. And now, it's like we were talking about before, right? You need to have your own work-life balance that works for you, and you should make sure that you're pushing for a balance. But once you finish a PhD, especially because you get to that last year and a half, and you are constantly feeling the pressure. You have a thesis to write, you have to get a job, you have to prepare for your defense, you have a lot of stuff that you have to do, and so you're naturally going to start fudging your own boundaries. You're going to start working nights, you're going to start working more weekends, and it's not necessarily something you want to do, but it's going to be something that you feel like you have to do to keep up. So even though I was very good at a work-life balance before that, it slowly got worse and worse and worse. And I think now that I have a job and it's confirmed for at least the next 2 years, maybe, having that ability to be able to say, okay, yes, I'm back to closing my laptop at 5, I'm back to taking the weekends off, I'm back to, you know, not feeling pressed if I don't finish something in time, like it's okay. Looking forward to that. But mostly the money.
Yeah. That will do. Yeah.
I think my next step is applying for grad school. I am shaking in my boots. But yeah, I mean, I think for a while, because I have failed in my past. I failed out of my first university, and so that my first scrape with like failure and rejection in academia, it was really hard to come back from. And I think even though I did a lot of work to like, okay, I'm okay now, like, or at least I'm more stable now, I think I still didn't consider that I could be a scientist. And that's why I was saying, like, for me, like, there was these two sides that were warring, and it was more because I was like, I don't know that I can do it. I didn't feel confident that I could. And like this year that I've spent getting to understand research and getting to know myself and how I can work through it, I'm like, oh, bro, you got this, you can do it. And so now I think like I'm really excited to move on to this step where the only thing I'm doing is science. I think every step up to this point has been like me doing, like even when I was at school, I was working like another job. And I am doing this job now, and I'm not doing full research, I'm doing comms, right? And I would really love to see like how I blossom and flourish under having unlimited, like my entire schedule is what am I gonna like focus on, what aspect of my research. So I'm really excited to be able to like do that full time and see like how far I can go without like having to split my brain in like 50 directions. So I'm excited about that. Wish me luck.
No, you got it.
Thank you. I'm very nervous. It's rough out there. I mean, it's rough out there. Listen.
Yeah.
That's why you got community though.
It's true.
You know?
It's true. Any admissions officers out there, y'all help me out.
You're watching. I got a crisp $10 bill for y'all if anyone wants to. Anyone wants to admit it. I want to finish this degree. I'm going to finish this degree in the next year or so. I'm looking at kind of next spring or next summer. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the job market holds. I'm very fortunate enough to have an advisor that is willing to keep me on until some kind of work comes my way, or if things in the government start to kind of like even out a little bit, which is where I want to stay, right? I don't want to be a professor. I really don't want to teach. I already taught for 8 years of my life. I'm not trying to do that again. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of uncertainties, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of tough to be optimistic about it right now, but I think just kind of like, especially like with all of us, and I mean, I've known y'all two for like a minute now, and kind of seeing how much, like looking back to where we were even just a year ago, we're just like, what's going on? How are we gonna get out? And now we're just kind of like chilling. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's gonna be rough, but it will be better at some point. And now that I have, this community and these friends here, it'll we'll get through it. So this degree will get finished one way or another. But yeah, one thing at a time, one day at a time too.
Awesome.
Wait, Rob, I'll be your answer.
Yeah.
Oh, so yes, I got 2 years left. Ideally, 2 years till I'm done with my PhD. So greatly looking forward to be done with that. But yeah, I mean, I guess like I don't know. I mean, there's a lot that I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to really like sit in the network that I've developed. I feel like starting off in grad school is like you're dealing with classes, you're submitting proposals. and then all the other stuff that's just happening in just daily life.
Mm-hmm.
You're just so enveloped in that. But at the same time, you know, you're meeting new people, you're going to conferences, giving post presentations, listening to talks and stuff like that. So you're meeting people, growing your network. So I think what I'm looking forward to is being able to just like get into a point where I can just like okay, like network is closed. Let me see like who I've met over like these last 3 years, who I want to just like collaborate with or talk to or get to know more.
You guys working on a paper together? So
You know,
I would pay for that. Like I would pay for journal access. Guys.
I keep trying to convince him. Keeps refusing.
I know. Yeah.
We still got our project.
I know. And what's funny is our code is done. We just need to like make some plots and make a paper.
Now you guys are in the same space, so maybe that's what's coming.
Oh man,
Exactly.
true. Yeah.
It's actually one of the first people I met ever in just astronomy. Amber Young.
Love her.
I've known her for 5 years, like 4 or 5 years, because she was one of the first people who Sean introduced me to, and come to find out, like our research overlaps in so many different ways, and so we're just now, you know, setting up meetings to talk about like, okay, so what can we do? Like, what can we work with, like to get like some projects going with the things I'm doing.
Guys, this is so cool. It's almost like, it's like, you know how like people do this with like bands? Like,
Oh,
so,
yeah. Let's collab.
like that's how you know, it's like, collab on a paper? Stop. I'm a big fan already, so.
It's like the astronomy Coachella.
Yeah.
It's a lot more dirty, you know?
And we're gonna have the Balenciaga
Oh,
astronomy collab.
That's something else I'm like, I want to get into. It's like, I want to just
Collab
put
with like
space
grants and stuff.
more
Yeah.
out there. So,
Space has drip. Like NASA
It
has
does.
a lot of opportunity for
Yeah.
like, you know, selling stuff. But yeah.
I mean, the Artemis mission, the spacesuits are going to be made by Prada.
yeah.
Wait, really?
Yes.
That goes so hard.
I need them to like.
No, it's
I
literally,
know. That is so cool.
and they look sleek.
Oh my god, I want some red bottom like shoes.
That's
like
what I'm
space
saying.
shoes. That is crazy.
Parts
We'll get there. We'll get there.
It can be like the Balenciaga sock shoes, but it's the whole space.
The whole
suit.
space.
Oh,
See,
Balenciaga.
Prada, Dior.
I feel like we gotta work our way up. Let me start with like Popeyes.
start a little. Start small.
I like y'all's biscuits.
I really did eat the chicken. I was like, Popeyes. I don't know any fashion that house that's Popeyes. Oh, okay.
Chipotle and kolache.
Oh,
See, a lot of my friends know that when in doubt, I will always get Chipotle.
Oh yeah.
There's a Chipotle
Oh,
down the
yeah.
street. I will go.
I live next to that Howard Chipotle.
It's
That honey chicken?
had me in a chokehold.
Oh my. Make it permanent.
Maybe I'm going to.
If somebody from Chipotle, make it permanent.
Maybe I'm going to the wrong Chipotle's because I'm a Chipotle hater.
Really?
Yeah, it tastes like nothing.
You're really wrong.
What would you get?
Yeah.
I mean, I've only been twice because both times like
See,
you
2
gotta have, but I've
times.
gone orders.
Exactly.
Each time I've gone, like the food, it just tastes like nothing.
That's okay.
Like I get like a bowl. We're gonna work.
We're gonna work.
All right. So maybe I don't know. Maybe the Chipotle.
It's not a deal breaker. We still love you, but we are going to need to work on this.
Well,
Just-
they're getting white rice chicken, nothing else.
You know what?
You know what? I don't know. It's got a bowl. They put everything on there, and I feel like the things that has flavor was like the cheese. I was like, oh, this is what everybody's like.
This is such a hot take.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you get the salad dressing?
But do y'all see how like none of y'all has said well, I guess you were talking about
The
The
Chipotle
honey.
honey chicken?
but I was like, nobody has said
regular
the
chicken.
chicken
The
seasoning
regular
carnitas,
The
like
brisket's good too.
I like the carnitas.
the rice.
The
like-
rice is good.
The rice
You see,
is brown.
when I'll take you to the
Okay.
You gotta have an eye for it.
They gotta have an eye for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can tell when you walk into a Chipotle how your experience is going to be.
You really can.
Okay.
Yeah.
You really can.
Alright.
If they're changing out some of the,
Mm.
that's the best time to go.
Yeah.
Around 1:30.
Yeah.
My first job was at Chipotle, and they would tell us like, oh, every once in a while it's okay if you want to take a little cup and like try the meat to make sure it's up to customer standards. I was taking whole bowls of listen, I gotta make sure it's all up to customer standards.
I would make like catering packs.
Oh,
to go.
for sure. I'm like, this is looking kind of suspicious, guys. This walk, I don't know about it. So, might as well take it home. So
Awesome. Well, that can transition in a way to the last question for the night, which is if you were going to space for a short trip, what's one item you would bring? It could be a physical item or food. And I will say Chipotle definitely would be one. And then the next one would probably, I already built it, but I will bring another Wally Lego set. And I would build Wally in space and take a picture of him outside.
That's a lot. That's a
Yeah.
lot. You bring one Chipotle bowl, or are we talking about like
Is it
there's
unlimited?
Chipotle?
I mean, I would just say
a
I
franchise.
would just say one bowl because of just like size and weight. But if that is not a issue, then I definitely would bring like a catering service. Yeah.
So what's a short trip? Like we're talking about like the Bezos flight where they just come up and come
Like let's say
down,
like Memorial Weekend
Katy
is
Perry.
coming up,
and you take
nice
2 days.
like 4 or 5 day
Okay,
weekend,
that's
extended weekend.
That is
So
not
you're going like into space proper for like a little bit.
Space, yes, yeah.
We're not in the lower orbit. We're getting out.
We're out.
You can go to the moon with that.
Okay.
Amount of time. Okay. I was gonna bring my decks, like the DJing.
Ooh.
Because then I could be like, first DJ set from space.
Live stream it.
What can I say? I feel like
That would go really hard.
bring it for the aliens. Like, have y'all heard house music? Can I introduce you to
That's
this?
what's gonna bring them.
It's not
like,
the golden
what is
disc.
this? It's even
That's
better.
house music, baby.
And then they're gonna get here and they're gonna be like, wait, I thought it was dinosaurs making this music.
Whole time it was big lizards on the
Yeah.
Listen, you know what? I too would be disappointed if I thought there was gonna be some giant dinosaurs mixing crazy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I come up and there's just like some mammals.
We can just explain like filters to them, and then I can do a little dinosaur.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, we've evolved a little bit since then.
Just a little.
Just a little bit.
Our arms got longer. Fewer claws.
Yeah.
No clue.
I'm my second Chipotle.
Oh
And
my
paint
God.
by numbers.
Ooh.
Paint by numbers.
Relaxing,
Yeah.
justified, good decor when you finish it.
You know what?
That's awesome.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
I
Got it.
think of
Okay.
I would bring a phone, not connected to the internet or anything, but downloaded with all of the New York Times crosswords.
Mm.
Gotta something to do.
Something.
I was laughing at this one. I am not a crossword girl. I cannot like the clues. I don't understand it. Like I read them and I'm like, what does this mean?
Exactly. I'm like, ooh, what is this?
Oh, see, that's two different. What does it mean? I'm annoyed.
Oh no, I get annoyed too.
Yeah. So but I'm a word search. I'll circle the heck out of a word. But crossword, yeah, I can't do it. That's different.
So you'll
The
circle
different
it,
brain.
but you won't cross it.
Well, because you have to come up with the word. And I'm trying to find that.
I love a good puzzle.
See, that's what and because they do the little trickery.
Depends on the
They got a
puzzle.
theme going for the entire puzzle. Every morning I wake up 6 a.m. Coffee, crossword,
Are you
hit
serious?
Pilates. Coffee, crossword, hit Pilates, back, start work.
You do Pilates before?
Yes, and almost every day of the week.
Ooh.
Absolutely
that.
crazy.
Could not be.
Before work is crazy work.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to be like
it's
you.
a brain pumping for the day.
Exactly.
It
Good for
does.
you. I could never.
Because then if I stop working at 10, I've already worked a day. For myself.
I'm
I'm
kind of
like,
like,
no.
Huh?
When you go to bed.
Like 9.
Oh, okay.
I'm a grandma.
Natasha is retired.
All right, let's get you to bed.
Oh wait, what time is it? It might be my bedtime.
You got it. Have about
Have about
Yeah.
Perfect.
I would add. I would bring. There's a pair of shoes that's from.
I knew you were gonna say
Yeah,
that.
right.
I knew you were gonna say that. When you guys with Chipotle, I was like, nah.
You know that,
yeah,
yeah.
right
You
now.
know, I just started thinking about the mini chickens. I was like, that would be great. But yeah, there's a pair of shoes from a movie called Back to the Future. They're called the Nike Air Mags, and they self-lace and they light up. And I would try to get those like blended into my spacesuit as I take my first steps. So
That's real nice.
Mhm.
That's real.
That's my real answer.
Ooh. I feel like I'd break my PC. Cause listen,
That's dangerous.
no, for sure.
'Cause-
I would set up some kind of gaming rig up there. Cause let's be honest, like space, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be pretty. I'm gonna take all my pictures. In about half a day, I'm gonna get bored.
Yeah.
And I just got the new Assassin's Creed, and I've been playing that. So
I thought you were about to say Oblivion.
Oh, I'm about to say that too.
Yeah, I know you know.
About the game Intergalactic,
I've heard of it.
it's by the same people who did Last of Us.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Uncharted. Super excited.
Really? Okay. See, I'm not the biggest like space game person, even though my favorite video game of all time is technically a space game. But yeah, probably. No, it's called Outer Wilds. I love it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite game of all time, and I love it because like every space video game you get, it's space capitalism, right? You gotta like mine all these planets and degrade them and leave and all that good stuff. Outer Wilds has like the most like gut-wrenching, like heart-tearing story. But if you don't follow any quest lines or whatever, they just drop you in the world and you explore at your own pace, and you have to piece together like why you're here and the mystery of the race that disappeared before you. And it's just like I don't cry with like movies or TV or whatever. When I tell you I finished this game and I was sobbing for like an hour, it was So I probably bring my PC, maybe play Outer Wilds again.
Listen, Outer Wilds in space, like
It's gonna hit,
It works.
and I'm gonna be crying, and all my tears are gonna be like floating. Yeah.
For sure. Okay, cool. Well, thank you, everyone. This is going to conclude our Global Astronomy Month live stream. Thank you to everybody who has joined, popped in, who submitted questions. I'm sorry we did not get to all of them, but perhaps we will run this back and get to more of your questions. I would love to thank my amazing colleagues for joining me on this stream and sharing your opinions. And yeah, so
thanks for inviting us.
Thank you. So with that, I will be concluding the stream, and we will be going getting burrata at an Italian restaurant. So
We're about to eat so many carbs, y'all.
yes. See ya.
Bye.
Fettuccine hate to see me come.